else want to record? Okay, I guess I will record too. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we got that top. What is that top made out of? Is it woven fabric or
It would
a,
be a knit, like a,
so it'll stretch
yeah.
like a jersey? Okay. So now we're back to the pant. Does it have any darts or tucks or gathers?
That part I was still debating whether or not I should add a dart.
Okay, so how wide is the pant leg?
The pant leg would be,
And is it narrow or is it a wide leg?
it'll be like a wide leg.
Okay, so I'm gonna have
And it
to,
would be like a crop, straight leg mom jean.
okay, I had to move because I ran out of space. So the kind of drawing I'm making right now is just a concept sketch.
Uh-huh.
I earlier made concept sketches on one of those 5 pose figures on a piece of paper. But this is another way. It's not a technical flat because it's not precise. It's just a quick sketch. But this can be used for designing. Okay, so you wanted the pant a little wide leg but shorter?
Yeah, like at a crop leg.
Okay, so I'm gonna find the center and
A little lower at the line.
like here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Let me get one of my erasers. There. Okay, so I'm going to use this ruler. So here's my crotch, right in the center of the crotch. Did I make it too wide? Do you like that width?
I feel like it's a little too wide on the outer, yeah, like right there would be perfect.
Okay, so okay, so now it has the 4 buttons and one at the waist. And it had single needle stitching for the fly. So does it have a dart, gathers, or a princess seam? Or a yoke? Which one sounds good to you?
Honestly, I don't think, maybe a princess seam.
Okay, so I'm going to follow the princess line. So it's curved around the hip and now it's straight. So it looks like it's shaped around the curve of the hip. Do you want any pockets on it?
Yes.
What kind? A patch or a side seam or a slash pocket?
A slash pocket.
Okay, so that means it's going to come like this and it could go about right here. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want a hem down at the bottom?
Yeah, I think it would look better with the hem instead of it being raw edge.
Do you want 1/4" top stitching?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's going to be 1/4" top stitching. And we got a slash pocket and a princess seam. So it could sew into the princess seam. Do you want stitching just right here?
Yeah, like an edge stitch to make sure it doesn't fall out.
Okay, so there's your design right there. I mean,
yeah,
I
thought it was.
Okay, somebody else describe to me what your design looks like. And if you don't have one design, come up with one in your brain and try to describe it to me.
Okay, I have one.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
Because I tried to draw it. So
yeah.
my pants.
It's pants?
Bottom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they are ruffled.
Okay.
But it's like layered. So they're pants that start fitted at the top, like high-waisted.
Okay.
And they'll be like, have like an elastic, like elastic would keep it. So it'd be like gathered.
Oh, okay. Do you want the gathering to be in a waistband or in a drawstring or just elastic casing?
Um, and the waist, like okay, how about, because I'm like a drawstring, but like, because I like, no, neither. Can it be like, I'm trying to, because I would like it to look clean. You know how like linen looks?
Yeah.
Like how it just looks clean. Like it has that like, but it's fitted. So maybe not a drawstring or elastic, just like a regular
Waistband?
waistband. Yes.
You want gathering where it joins the pant leg?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put some gathering. Do you
Just
want
a little,
just a little? You don't want it all the way around? So
not
just
all the way
where the dart
down.
would be?
Just like right there. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put it just where the darts will be.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not,
Because then what's going to happen is it's going to be layered ruffles.
okay, so where will the first layer end?
Like where it would start.
Well, if this is gonna be, I mean, do you want the first layer here?
Higher.
Like,
So it's, yeah, like right there. Yep.
oh,
What
okay,
it's gonna do is going to start small, then go out, if that makes sense.
so
So
then,
each layer, but if they could be like small,
oh, not big?
not big, like probably like half of that.
Okay. And then, okay, so it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Making it
And
full.
it's just gonna keep on going.
Okay, how many ruffles will make it all the way down?
Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably like 6 or 5.
Okay, so do you want them all the same width or do you want them to slowly get bigger?
No, I want them all the same width.
Okay, so do you want the ruffle to be biased or do you want it to be gathered?
What's the differences?
Well, the way I've drawn it right now, it's a bias ruffle. You don't see gathers right here. You
Mhm.
just see the swing of the ruffle.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll probably be gathers, because I want it to be like super. So my theme is pirate. So I'm doing like a pirate theme.
Okay.
So
If I'm going to do it gathered, and I don't have a lot of gathers here.
would it be tighter looking? Like if it was gathered, like would they look tighter, like tighter ruffles?
Yes. Now, what I was going to say is that you didn't put very many ruffles here. You just put a little at the princess. So if I put a seam here, then I could make this all gathered and it would
Okay.
pull out like that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now this is
I like
your choice. Do you
I
want
like that.
ruffles to tier on top? Each one layers on top? Or do you
Yes.
want to sew all into a seam? Okay. So that's
No.
how you,
Yeah.
okay. So now you can see it. And so the way you're going to get into it is this entire waistband is maybe ribbed and stretchy fabric.
I was thinking like a back zipper, like a butt zipper,
Okay. So
or a side zipper.
there's my pant. And then when I do the back view, you want a side zipper or a back zipper?
A back zipper.
Okay, so I'm going to come down about here with a little,
Like a hidden one, like a
yeah.
what do you call it? Yeah.
So I show the crotch and I make this a little thicker and then the zipper pull.
Mm-hmm.
I could curve this so it follows, it's parallel to that shape. And then I would just copy all of these gathers. And that would be my back view.
Mhm.
Yes. So who am I talking to?
Latoya.
Latoya. Okay, that's Latoya's design.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, I kind of went into the other pant leg, but I think I can see.
No, it'll be cool.
That would be cute. What kind of fabric?
I was thinking of like a lace with rhinestones on it. And each layer would be like a different color. So like I'm doing pastels color.
Okay, so there's my pant and my back. Okay, good. And whose was this design? Who told me this one?
Daniela.
Oh, okay, Daniela. You know what I forgot is when you do the neckline, the back is going to be a little higher. I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so there's your design. There's Latoya's design. Okay, somebody else, describe to me one of your design ideas. All you shy people. So who's awake and who's ready to give me an idea?
I can give you one.
Jewel,
Okay. Let me just find my sketch.
you want a top or a pant or a dress? What's that?
It's gonna be, I don't know if it's a skirt or a dress. I think it's a skirt. Okay, so it's gonna be like a fitted type of like um um sorry, it's hard for me to describe. It's like a fitted overall dress basically. So the dress, it'll like start right under the bust.
Oh, it's a dress.
Yeah.
So
But
it's,
it starts under the bust. It doesn't go over her bust. Yeah, it starts under the bust. And the straps will go down to her waist.
it has straps.
Mm-hmm.
How wide is the strap?
I would say an inch.
Okay. And how does it attach to the waist?
It attaches just like just to the waist, like how an overall would, I guess.
With a buckle?
Yes, sorry, with a buckle.
Okay. So we're gonna make a little buckle. And this might have a little, I don't know what you call those things.
Yeah, that overall thing. I don't know either. And then there's gonna be a pocket on, like, you know how there's a pocket right underneath? No,
Here?
underneath the bust, like on an overall.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like that little small square. Oh, yeah.
okay. So you
And
want,
I don't know if you don't want to, you don't have to draw it if you don't want to, but I put a little cactus on it, like embroidered. And then the waistband has like it has little straps to have like a belt that goes through it.
okay. So where's, like right here, there'd be belt loops?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because I don't know, I really like overall dresses, but the fit of them is terrible. So I'm making it fitted, kind of like a pencil skirt would be fitted.
Okay. Is it going to have a belt through these belt loops?
It is, yeah. And the belt was gonna be kind of like Western, Native American looking, like probably with turquoise.
Okay.
Mhm.
On it. Okay. So
And
then,
then the skirt ends like, how far did it go? It went a little lower.
above the
Yeah,
knee,
I think that's good. Mm-hmm. Where you have it. Yeah, that was good. And then on the sides of the skirt, I had little like buttons to open it up in case she wanted more movement. And the buttons kind of looked like the buttons that were on a military jacket. There's a lot of detail.
how many buttons?
There's 3.
Are they, have I spaced them correctly or you want them tight?
They're a little lower, but yeah, they're lower.
So like maybe here, like this?
Mhm. Yeah. And then the top,
Would it show a little side slit?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the top, there's a top? Okay.
Yes. So the top is gonna be like just kind of like a bralette. I didn't really know what else to. Yeah, bralette.
A bralette.
I didn't really know how to draw it, so I kind of just made it plain. But it would have been nice to have like a nice, pretty bralette, but something that's not totally see-through.
Will it have straps?
Yes, it'll have just like regular straps, like the straight up ones. And then I had one more thing on it.
Will it go down straight in the back or crisscross?
Probably. Oh, the crisscross idea sounds cool. That would be good.
Okay, so the same with this one. When it goes to the back, does it crisscross?
Yes.
Try to get that even.
And then I have one more part to my garment.
Okay. What's that?
It's gonna be a shrug.
Oh,
So it's kind of like, like a sweater, but without the top. It's like a shrug. So yeah, I had that kind of sleeve, but I had the bellow sleeves again.
how long?
Just until like her wrist. I didn't want them to be too long. Yeah, just until her wrist, so she doesn't quite get food in them when she eats.
Elastic?
There was no elastic.
Or
It
how
was
does,
just a bellow sleeve.
does it have a cuff?
No.
But there's no elastic. What keeps it? What does it gather into? And if there's no elastic and there's
I
no,
don't know. It just I don't know. I've seen bellow sleeves that didn't have that before, and they just long.
so is it gonna be,
It's just super flowy and baggy.
gonna gather like that?
There's no gathers.
Oh, there's no gather. So it's like a bell.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like a bell.
yeah, bell sleeve.
So when you call it a bellow, that means it gathers.
Oh, I said bellow. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's a bell sleeve.
Okay, so it's a bell. And it just has a little movement.
Yep.
Okay. Now, is it just straight, no seam on it? So
I should probably put a seam on the elbow so that it fits a bit better there. What do you think?
fine. Okay, so this is the back of the shrug. Okay.
And then it had like a closure in the front, like I connected. So from the neck to neck part, like there's like a buckle
Oh, so you want it to
to
come
connect.
like this? So
It connected with a buckle in the middle.
what's that buckle look like?
It was just like a regular square buckle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a little tab.
Yeah, it looks like a belt buckle. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay. So this is Jules' design. Okay. So, who do I have?
Miss Rad.
Yep.
So when we have our design, like say if I put, so I have a top, a bottom, like a jacket and a bottom, and I want it to go together, I could do the illustration with both of them, and then I'll do my 2 separate flats for them.
I wasn't having you do illustrations yet. I was trying to make it not so much work. But if you want to do illustrations, that's fine because it's really nice.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I had illustration on there. Did I have it on the assignment?
I don't know. I just thought that that's what you wanted.
I'll have to go back and see what I wrote, but I thought I was just doing in pencil.
You just want us to have the flats?
Yeah, I think that's all it was. I could be wrong. I'll go back and look before class is over. But I think that's what I put up there.
Okay.
Yes, I have illustrated it before with a figure and then put a flat next to it. But I don't think I made that part of the assignment because I was trying to, not keep you awake all weekend too. That was my goal. Okay, so who else would like to design? I'll let you volunteer or I'll pick somebody. Who's awake enough and ready to describe something they would like to design? Okay, so who have I not talked with this morning? Let's see who's all here. Got everybody here. Okay, let's see. Okay, Jack, good morning. Are you awake?
Kinda.
Kinda. So do you want to describe one of your designs?
Sure. I wanted to do like neoprene pants.
Okay, is this on a girl?
Yeah.
Okay, neoprene pants. That sounds cool. I bought some neoprene and I made covers to all my computers. It was fun. I love working with that fabric. Okay, so what's it gonna look like?
So a drawstring waist.
Okay. Will it have, how wide will the tie that goes through the drawstring be?
Like the actual like string.
Right. Will it be
Um
an inch,
what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
quarter inch, or a half an inch?
Like a quarter.
Okay, so it'll be 10. Okay. And a little gather. And how wide is the pant?
Kind of like a little bit wider, but I wanted it to like taper in at the bottom a little bit.
Okay, how long is the pant? Does it go to the ankle?
Kind of like at the ankle bone.
Ankle bone. Okay, so it'll be slim at the ankle bone. I don't know if you can see there. Okay, and
It kind of like bubbles out a little.
then it bubbles out. Okay, so will it look like that? Can you see that? I mean, that's harder to see.
A little bit skinnier at the widest part.
Okay, so we'll back on. So you can see that, and I'm going to erase it. Good?
Yeah. Do it more like straight leg and then have it like kind of curve in at the last like 2 or 3 inches, like on the bottom.
Okay, so I'm gonna right here, it's gonna curve in more.
No, like the whole leg, like from where like it is like an inch below the crotch, like that width,
Yeah.
like almost all the way down, and then within like the last like 2 inches of the bottom of the pant, then have it start to kind of curve in towards where it is.
And so I'll make it a little wider and then it's gonna curve in. Like
Yeah.
that. Do you want a seam here where it curves in like?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, do you want any pocket on it?
Yeah. A slash pocket.
Okay. What kind you want? You want any other detail on it?
A small little elastic at the bottom hem.
Right here?
Yeah.
You want a little bit of,
Yeah, a little bit. And then also, do you know like those little bungee drawstring kind of things
where do you want that?
on the bottom cuff? Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Mhm. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay, so that's Jack's. Very good. Okay. Do I have another future designer of America that wants to create here? Who would like to be next? Let's see. Who we got going?
I'll go.
Okay, go for it. Is that Chris?
Yeah.
What would you like to start?
Mine is just like a Americana, like type vintage look.
Okay,
She's gonna have like straight leg, like crop pants, like cuffed.
okay.
Um,
What kind of waistline? At the waist, below the waist?
it'll probably be like a little bit above her waist.
Okay, how wide will the waistband be?
Um,
2 inch, 3 inch?
Probably. You said what were the measurements you said?
1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch? So
Probably
this
like 2 inch.
2 inch. Okay, it'd be about right here. Okay. So then it's, how long is the pant?
Probably like by like like a little bit above her ankle, like probably like
Upper ankle. Okay, and
bottom of like her shin.
a little higher here or higher?
A little by that where that line is, like in between those two lines right there.
Right there.
Yeah,
And you want a cuff?
yeah,
So about a 2 inch cuff?
yeah.
Okay, so do you want it narrow? Like-
Yeah, kind of like straight leg,
Okay, so I'm gonna,
but not too like tapered.
you like that or what, a little wider?
Maybe like a little bit baggier, like from the thighs.
Is this wide enough or
Yeah,
what?
that's good.
That's good, okay. Okay, do you want any pockets?
Yeah, and like it'll be like kind of like pleats by where like the pockets are at.
Like here, please?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
what pocket?
It would just be like a regular like pocket.
What's that, a side seam or a patch or a slash?
A side seam
Okay, so I'll just make it thicker here.
or no, a slash.
Or a flash like this.
Yeah, like that.
And then what kind of closure to get into it?
It'll be like a zipper fly.
Okay, and you want it single needle or double needle?
Single needle.
And you want a button on the waistband?
Yes.
Okay. So, does that look good or do you want anything else?
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
And then there was gonna be like a turtleneck, long sleeve, like a
Okay.
ribbed one.
A ripped turtleneck long sleeve. So how high up do you want that?
Not too high. It'll be like,
Is that too high?
yeah, that's too high.
Like here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so we'll erase it. So when it's not too high, I call it a mock turtleneck because
Okay.
it's fold over. You want the ribbing on it?
Yeah.
Okay, now do you want this? It's called a full fashion when it's a knitted top and you see these little full fashion markings on the knit. Do you want it
I
knit?
could barely see.
You can barely see. You can't see those little dots there. Maybe if I
Uh,
can you see it now?
yeah. Nah, not. I don't really want those on there.
You don't want that on there? Okay.
No.
So I'm going to put a seam and then long sleeve. Do you want a cuff, like a ribbed cuff on the hem, or do you want it just?
Yeah, like a ripped cuff.
Okay, so it's going to have a ribbed cuff. And then will it be just straight or fitted?
It'd be kind of fitted.
Okay. And then how long do you want it? Do you want it at the hips, like here?
Like right where it ended. Like it would be tucked in actually.
Right where it ended. So is this good right here? Can you see this?
Is that where the waist is?
The waist is up here. The waist is right here. I'll move-
Well, yeah, it would be like by like where her belly button kind of like.
That's where you want it to end?
Yeah, be tucked in.
Okay. So if it ends there, it's going to pop out of the tuck in. It's only going to stay if you have a little bit more length.
Yeah.
So I'll make it a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I've got my turtleneck. So these are concept sketches. They're not technical sketches. In other words, they're rough just to get you your designs. Instead of putting it on the figures like I did before, you can just do them this way. They're just rough concepts. And then you go into making a technical flat with it, making it precise and symmetrical. Okay, so there's Chris's designs. Now, who would like to be next? Who have I not had design? How about Leslie? Are you awake? You ready to design something?
Yeah.
What would you like to create?
It's kind of like a, what I say, like a maxi dress, but it's kind of like fitted.
So that means it's long? The
Yeah.
dress? Okay, so what kind of neckline?
It's actually like a shoulderless neckline.
Shoulderless
Like,
neckline.
so it's like off the shoulder.
Oh, it's off the shoulder.
Mhm.
So does that mean it does this?
Yeah.
Okay, does it have a strap?
It's just like a very short sleeve, kind of like if it was a strap on the side.
So it would look like this?
Yeah.
Okay. And I assume maybe it's sewn in. Okay. And then is the silhouette tight or is it loose?
Yeah, it's tight.
Tight. Okay. So what kind of fabric is it?
Like a, dang, I don't know what the fabric's called, but it's kind of like the, it's stretchy and it has like those little lines. I want to say it's jersey, but I know it's not jersey.
Ribbing? Ribbing?
Yeah, it has like ribbon on it.
Okay. So how long is it?
Mid calf,
Like about
a
right.
little longer. Yeah, right there.
And does it flare or go straight?
It goes straight.
Okay. So I slightly lift it because the hips would slightly lift it. Okay. So you're going to make it out of a net.
Yeah.
Okay. And it has a little set-in sleeve. I see a little bit of it. Okay. So it's stretchy and I wouldn't have any fitted, like no darts, no princess seams. It's all stretchy.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty much.
Okay, so that's Leslie. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Who do we have next that hasn't designed yet? Let's see. Symphony, how are you this morning? Have I done you? You haven't designed yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Got any fresh ideas?
I was thinking like a mini skirt.
Okay. Is it A-line, a straight slim skirt, a full?
Yeah, a straight skirt.
Okay, and does it go to the waist or does it go on the hips?
On the hips.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it on the hips.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And how long is it?
About right there.
So right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a little higher.
Okay.
Okay, so I will have that to show the back. So now what kind of detail will it have on it?
Like, you know those diamond texture?
The diamond texture? Okay.
Yeah.
Fabric?
I'm sorry?
Fabric has a diamond texture?
Yes.
Okay, I don't need to show that on my flat. So does it have an opening? Does it have a zipper or a button?
In the back, a zipper.
Okay, so I'll show it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Have any yoke or dart or pocket?
The pockets, one pocket in the front.
What kind of pocket? A patch, a western pocket, a pocket.
I guess a western pocket.
Okay, so western pocket, you have that on a pair of blue jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Have a waist.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could have a yoke. So, and then the pocket would go into it. So which a waist or a yoke?
A yoke.
A yoke. And so do you want your yoke 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch? Do you want it to match the silhouette shape here, or do you want it angled?
Angled. And yeah.
And then we'll do a little western pocket.
Yeah.
So western pocket could be curved or it could be slashed.
Yeah. Curved. Like that.
You only want one pocket?
Yeah, just one pocket.
You want a seam right here?
No. Mm-mm.
You want any top stitching?
Yeah, at the top and on the
At the waist? You want?
yeah, and on the yoke.
And do you want 1/4 inch or double needle?
1/4 inch.
And you want it around the pocket?
Yeah.
You want it on the hem?
No. Mm-mm.
So you want just a blind hem?
Yeah.
Blind hem, you can just put little dots.
Oh.
That is a blind hem there.
Yeah.
Cool. You want anything else?
A crop top.
Crop
Like
top.
a jacket. Crop.
What kind of collar?
Like a crop bomber jacket.
Okay, so I'm going to show the back of the neck. It over. We'll have a button right there.
Mm-hmm.
There. Okay, do you want a yoke?
No.
Okay. You want long sleeves or short sleeves?
Long sleeves and for them to kind of flare out at the end, at the bottom.
This?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at it. Do you want any top stitching?
Yeah, around the collar.
You want
Yeah.
pocket or any detail?
No, no pocket. Well, yeah. Yeah, it can have a little pocket on the right side.
You want any darts or princess seams?
No.
You want any stitching on the hem of the sleeve?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So 1/4 inch?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want any stitching on the hem of your jacket?
No.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. I already forgot who I was talking to.
Symphony.
How can I forget music? Okay. So who's left that hasn't designed one? Who do we have left? Hi, Juan. You want to design one?
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to create?
I'm thinking about the bike jacket.
Oh, a bicycle jacket?
Yeah, bike leather jacket.
A leather jacket. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Would it have a stand collar?
Not then it looks flat.
It looks flat? Okay.
Yeah.
So no collar, just around the neck? And
Oh no, it has a collar, but it doesn't go up, so it just folded around the shoulder area, and then it has a notched collar. So I mean the notched logo.
I'm not sure I understand. So it doesn't stand up the collar, but it's flat. Does it do this?
Oh no, so it's has a wider colors, but like the men's suit.
Okay. So is it like, but it lays flat. So
Yeah.
like a man's suit like that?
Yeah, but the upper part of the collar should be more around the shoulder. So it's really hard to explain, but the I searched it, but it is called notched lapel, LAPL.
Yeah, a notched lapel.
Lapel, yeah.
Okay, so is this how you want it to look?
But the lapel should be wider and bigger.
Okay, so this thicker?
It covers about around the shoulder completely.
Like,
Yeah.
does it have a zipper on it?
Oh yeah. So, but the zipper closure is positioned off the center. So when you close the zipper, it should be looks diagonal.
So you want it to come across here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this would be a zipper,
Mm-hmm.
and that zipper would go all here. So if you zip it up, yeah, okay, got it.
And then the one of the zipper closure is on the end of the bodies, and then the other closure should be positioned on the center. No, yeah, around the nipple point. Yeah, there.
So it would zip up like that.
Yeah.
So this would still, so this could actually have a piece, it could fold over like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And how long will it be?
It's gonna be around the waistline.
Okay. So will it have like a waistband?
Yeah, but I want it to be the around the line you already drew the line, the waistline, so it should be around the waistline, not too below the waistline.
Oh, make it higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want it. So a little waistband
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, it's gonna have a belt on the waistline.
Oh, a belt with belt loops?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe a buckle. Long sleeves.
Yeah, long sleeves.
And usually on a jacket like this, it might have an upper and an under sleeve. Do you want that? So it looks like this. Do you want an upper and under sleeve? So they're two-piece sleeve.
Mm.
Do you want that?
Oh, what is?
Well, sometimes on jackets, they'll
Mhm.
have an upper sleeve and an under sleeve, so it fits better. So I'm asking, you want that?
Okay.
Okay, you want it? Okay, so I'll put it over here, too. So do you want a yoke here?
I know it's okay because I want it to be a little bit slim.
Okay, do you want
Fitted.
any pockets?
Oh yeah, so I mean pocket button, not the just the
Like
zipper on
you
both
want it
sides.
angled
Yeah,
like that?
yeah,
Okay. You like a lot of work.
yeah.
Is there anything
Thank you.
you want on it?
I'm sorry.
Is there any other detail you want on it?
No, I have a question. So this is the zipper is not positioned on the center of the body. So in this case, I need to draw uh the jacket on the flat while it is closed or open.
You have some choices here. If you're going to sketch it like this, you should do a little call out box that
Mhm.
shows how it would look if it was completely zipped up. So if it was completely zipped up, then
Mhm.
I see it closed
Mhm.
like this. So I would show both ways, and I
Mhm.
would put this in a little call out box, just so I
Okay.
can tell what it looks like when it's zipped up. And that helps the pattern maker. I'm making my zipper pull really huge, but that makes it easy. Now I could tell how it looks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
See both ways. Okay, very good. It's nice,
Mhm.
ambitious. Okay, let's see.
Miss Rad,
Yep. Who said that?
Latoya,
What's
I
up?
wanted, can you show me, you know how like people have pants, like say it's high-waisted, but it's like folded at the top? Like
Like,
it's like folds
okay, so
and it kind of goes outward. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's taken in, but it's like folded.
like this, like a paper, like a, let's see if I put a button here.
But yeah, but okay, so say if they did it like just pleats though, like instead of it like flapped over, say
Yeah,
if it was just pleated and then the top parts were just like out.
like a paper bag. It's
Yeah,
bag waist.
that's what it's called.
It's called a paper bag waist.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. And sometimes it'll be stitched, holding down those pleats.
Waist.
That's a paper bag waist.
You make it look so easy. Ah,
Start at 19 and I'm 65. Count how long I've been drawing these pictures. A long time. And then you die.
So good for your age. You do not look a day over like 50.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so who did I miss? How have I gotten everyone on the list?
No,
Okay, I heard a no. Who? Let me go to gallery view.
Charmaine.
Armaine. Oh, you ready to design?
Will I have another opportunity? I could tell you a design.
Oh, did I already sketch one for you?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready for you.
Okay, it's gonna look like a dress shirt, like a collared dress shirt.
Okay. Is the collar narrow or wide?
Uh,
Did?
like narrow.
Okay, so
Like yeah, 'cause more for like a girl. Yeah.
okay. So then is it gonna have a placket?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a little placket. Okay. There's the
And
back.
then it's gonna have like it's gonna be the same material. It's gonna be like a corset on it.
Oh, cool. Okay, so on the shirt, there's gonna be like a corset.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna come in and maybe end about there, and then the shirt will go under it.
Yeah, it's gonna make it like look like a dress.
Does it have a shirt tail hem? Will this like do this?
No, it's gonna make it look kind of like a skirt,
Oh, so
flare out.
will it how long will it be? Like that?
Hmm. Yeah, like that size.
So how long? Where do you want it to end?
Oh, you could just draw like a straight line like that size, cause it's gonna be basically still like like the length of a shirt, but kind of like a little bit up because the corset is gonna make it kind of like ruffle up a little bit at the bottom. If I'm making sense.
Have I made it too long? Should I make it about right here and give it a little movement?
Yeah, probably shorter. Yeah, shorter.
You want it to slightly lift on the sides or have side slits?
Yeah, slightly lift on the sides.
Okay. But did you want side slits or not?
Mm, I didn't think about that.
Oh, okay.
What you think?
I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. So it doesn't matter. It's up to you.
I could just be like that.
Now, you want long sleeve, short sleeve,
Long sleeve.
with a cuff,
Yeah, like ruffles.
ruffled, a cuff with a ruffle?
Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking of. I don't. Can we come back so I can finish? Like I wanted to have tulle
Okay, where?
either on the sleeves or on the not the bottom, maybe the sleeves.
Okay, so what shape sleeve do you want?
Kind of baggy.
Kind of baggy. And you want it to have a ruffle on it. So do you want it to be a wide sleeve with a cuff and a ruffle? Or just a wide sleeve with a wide hem with a ruffle? Or you want it not straight, you want it more belled?
Like more bell, like
Okay, so you want it long? And how wide do you want your ruffle?
okay, actually, not like that. Like going down, I don't want the arms, not the arms, like the hands to show. I want it to be that long.
Okay, and do you
So,
want,
like really dramatic.
okay, so do you want it to be shorter in the front and longer in the back?
No, all like the same length.
Okay, and do you want it to the fingertips? like to here?
Mhm. No hands to show.
Oh, not at all. Okay. Do you want the ruffle to start about here? And do you want it to be a gathered ruffle or a bias ruffle?
It could be like a gathered ruffle.
Do you want it that narrow or do you want it wider?
Wider.
Okay, so maybe here. And it's gathered. Okay, you want it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any details missing that you would like to see?
Mm.
Do you want buttons?
Yeah, buttons.
Buttons? How many buttons?
Probably like 6.
Do you want any princess seams or darts?
Ooh. Yeah, it can have darts.
You want darts?
Yeah.
You want 2 darts like that?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Is that one more? Wait. Okay. Any other details or that's it?
Mm. Maybe can I give you more ideas after this? I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. You want any top stitching?
You can have some.
Do you want it on the collar?
Yeah. What about on the shoulders?
You want top stitching here?
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. Good.
It looks so nice.
Okay, cool. Okay. Is there anyone else that has it? How about Jennifer? Have you designed yet? Are you there? Okay, anybody else that hasn't designed yet? Let's see, do I have everybody? Go look at my participant list. Charmaine did it, Chris did it, Daniela did it, Haiwan did it, Jack did it. Jennifer's the only one that I can see hasn't designed one. Okay, Jennifer, calling Jennifer. Okay, I don't know where she is. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to give you just some overview of sketching details. That's why I kind of wanted to get a good idea of what each of you is designing, because there's so many details that you could add to a garment. And so I'm just going to sketch some details for you. So I'm going to start with collars. So how's that view? Let's see if you're getting a good view. I'm going to make it bigger so I can see it. Speaker view. Okay, where am I? Okay, there's my hand. So that's the one I'm going to pin my video. Okay, now I can see where I am. I'm going to lift this up a little higher. Okay, colors. Okay, so you saw me start to draw I'm going to just make a little person here. As I started to draw it going around the neck. And this is a collar, it curves around the neck, but when it comes down to the shoulder, it becomes straight. So a lapel sews into the seam of the collar, and then it's really just the fold over of the bodice. but you always see a little bit of that seam. So you can't forget to draw that seam. So this part, after the button, it's usually enough space to put another button there. That's called the extension. This is called the lapel, and this is called the collar. And there's other names, like this seam is called the gorge line. I don't know if you're ever going to remember that. And right here where it rolls, that's called the roll line. I don't know if you'll ever remember that, but sometimes you might have to use that terminology to a sample maker to describe something. So when I draw a collar, I always want to show it wrapping around. So if I have a turtleneck, I will see it wrapping around, and I might see the seam under the turtleneck. So there's my turtleneck. If I show a banded collar, I might see the back, and then I might show it coming out so I could see both ways that it curves. So maybe this might have a zipper. Usually always when I'm doing a flat, I close up everything. I zip it up, I button it up all the way. I never leave something unbuttoned when I'm sketching a flat. Okay, so there are more, like this one could be a convertible collar, which means kind of like when you're thinking of a convertible car, you can have the top up or the top down. So when I was doing Haiwan's biker jacket, that was a convertible collar. It could be worn both ways. And so could this one. So usually this lapel might have a little thread on it, and it can wrap over underneath the collar, and it'll hook underneath with a little button. And then I'll see the extension, and then it becomes a convertible collar. Convertible collar. That means it could be both ways. It could be both ways. Okay. When I'm drawing sleeves, if I had a puff sleeve, I'd see gathers. The gathers always curve around the sphere. And if I had a cuff, I would show it wrap around the arm, and I would see the gathers come out in different lengths, and it would push out. Let's say I had a collar here, so you could see a puff sleeve. If I had, okay, sorry, I've got my phone right next to there. You need to hear all that. So I'm going to make a little cap sleeve. It would be a cap sleeve. So one of the sleeves that I was drawing, and it's usually one of the first sleeves that you, okay, someone's at my front door, and I don't want to take that call. Let me just take a minute, see who's at my front door. I'll be right back. Sorry, you guys, but I'll be right back. Take a break and stretch your neck. I'm back. Did you stretch your neck? Are you guys all there? You disappeared?
I'm here. I'm still working
Here.
on
Wait.
my piece.
So one of the first sleeves you learn to make in pattern making is a bishop sleeve. So a bishop sleeve gathers and then it sews into a cuff. And I need to move it up. Usually you don't see the cuff folding over with the button. That part is usually on the back side. You usually just see the front of the cuff from the front. And then when I see the back, as it folds over, I'm going to see the button and possibly a placket. And the placket's going to open, and usually the cuff goes to here, and I'm going to just open it, and you see a little bias binding, and then the rest of the cuff, and this has the button. And that would be the inside. Usually you don't see it on the front. So this is called a bishop sleeve. Bishop sleeve. Okay, and this is the cuff. Sometimes this is called a barrel cuff. And if you made a really wide cuff, it's going to get wider as it goes higher up the arm. Same with a high waist on a pant. If you keep going up the rib cage, it's going to get higher. So be aware of that when you're drawing a pant waist. If you draw a pant at the waist and it's only about 1 inch in width, it's just going to be straight across when you draw a pant. But if you draw a pant that goes below the waist, as it goes below the waist, you're going to see the back of the pant. So be aware of that. And you can usually just use gray marker or diagonal lines to show it. So it's going to curve this direction like a happy smile, and the back is going to curve differently. It's going to go this way. So when you go to do the back, it's going to go a different shape. So I don't know if you understand that, but I'm going to draw it on some tracing paper so you can see it. Because that's probably one of the things that students don't quite understand when they're making their first flats. So let's see where I buried my tracing paper.
Wait, what is it that people have a hard time understanding when doing flats?
The curve. So I'm gonna demonstrate.
Okay.
The curve of the back. I just gotta, when I start demonstrating, I get this pile of paperwork and then I bury it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's my template. Here's my tracing paper. So if I'm going to do a back view, there we go. Draw my axis line. Okay, so I'm going to take and make it slightly curved, and it's going to have a small waistband, and the back is going to go like that. Okay, so there it is. Okay, it's going to have a fly. So this is just a concept. It's not a technical sketch. But when I go to do the back, I trace that distance because it's still going to have that distance, and I trace the back. Now, I don't need that front anymore because it's just going to confuse me. I know the distance, so I know the distance is about right here. I could measure it with a piece of paper. There it is there. There it is there. And I'll go to the center, just get the width, and then it'll curve from there to my other side. So it's totally changed the shape. The front looks like this. The back looks like this. And so when I put pockets on it, they'll follow that shape. And there's my back. I think I'm a little fatter than that one was, but you get the idea. So this is how it should look. It's an ellipse. And a lot of times I'll get something like this, and it doesn't do that. That is not what I should get. It's not like a hump. It's like an ellipse, which is a small lift. And you can take your own pants and just hold them up by the side seams, and you'll see the back is higher than the front, because the back has to be a bigger pattern piece to go around the curve of the tush. So that's how it should be drawn. Okay, so now, let's see, I might put it under here. This is my computer.
Is that so true? Like if you're doing something like drawstring or baggy or like gather at the top?
If it's at the waist, it's not going to be higher if it's at the waist. But if it's below the waist and it's a drawstring, then yes, you're going to see it higher. So I'll draw one so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to make a drawstring that comes low on the body. So it's going to have gathering, and it's going to have a little wrinkle because it gathers. Okay, so it's going to be higher, and it'll have the same wrinkle, and I will show it. Now, last night I was thinking about that idea about, what do I call that? Matching mask and gloves and scarf, and some matching baggy pants that you can wear while you're sitting at your computer. That's going to be our uniform for the next year. A mask, gloves, and baggy pants to sit at the computer. Okay, so there's the drawstring when it's low on the hips. And I can tell it's low on the hips because it's pretty straight right here. When I'm on the waist, I have a totally different shape. I have an indentation and then it curves out. That's how I tell the difference. That's how I know it's straight. It's on the waist. I can tell by the silhouette shape. There's no view of the back. It's at the waist. When it's down below the hips, it's very straight here, because you can tell once I get here, it's so straight, but it's when I'm close to the waist, it curves. So that tells me it's a drop waist. It's dropped because it's on the hips. And this tells me it's on the waist. And because I can't see the back, because they're equal when they get straight to the waist. As soon as I make a high waist, it is the opposite effect. So I'm going to make a high waist. It comes up here and it comes down, and I'm going to put a nice high, maybe I'll put some tucks on it. Okay, so there's my front, but when I do the back, let me put it this way. It's going to actually, the back is going to be lower and the front's going to be higher because it went above the waist. Here's my waist. And there's my back. Now it's hard to see. Just rip it so you can see it. So my front is higher and my back. And so I'm going to have darts here too, so that I get that shape. Or I could have put a waistband in. That would have worked too. Does that make sense? So this is my front and this is my back. But that usually gets confusing too for a beginner, that it changed shapes. And again, it's an ellipse. It's not this. It's not this huge circle that lifts up. It's just an ellipse, very small in the corners. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see what else I could draw for you. Did you guys all stretch your necks when I went down to get my door? It was a delivery guy.
Oh.
I want to leave
I
stuff.
wanted to, Miss Brad. So I'm almost, like, I did my first flat. I'm almost done with it. I'm
Okay.
not finished. But I'm about to change my, I'm having, can you show me how to do the, like, gathers? So I did this, but I didn't put, like, the top like it would be gathered at the top. I didn't put that in.
Okay, so all of those ruffles hang on top of each other, correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to draw it here. Okay, so let's see. A ruffle here,
Mm-hmm.
here, and then the first row, is that a yoke? This line right here, is it a yoke?
It's like a, I don't know, what's the yoke?
A yoke is a small inset, so it just sews into the seam. If it's a ruffle, it's going to go past that seam. But right now it's looking like a yoke.
It's a yoke.
Okay. So it's a yoke, and then the next ruffle starts. So
Yeah.
it gathers, and it has a little bit of ruffle, and it flips over. And then the next one, it gathers, and it flips over. So you can
Oh, how did you make the flip over?
because I'm going right to the edge, and I'm flipping it over.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Making sense? So I'm just trying to make my ruffles kind of loose and random. And I can show a little bit of gather, but I don't have to show a lot because it'll get too busy with lines. So I just show
Okay.
a little bit. But I can tell you just from drawing that it's going to look prettier if you make like maybe one length. They're both the same, and make the next a little bit longer, maybe 3 more a different length. It just mixes it up and gives you a 1-3-5 balance, the golden mean. Look better. If you make them all exactly the same, it won't be as attractive. It looks better if I make some small and then some medium and then some large. Just looks better. I don't know why, but it just does. So you could experiment with drawing it both ways and see which one you like better. But if you make them all the same, it just becomes not as much interest. It all becomes too much alike. That's my opinion. So does that make sense?
Yeah. And when you like, okay, so you like made them like that, like the gathers, like going in all directions. See, it doesn't look like, I don't know. I feel like when I do it, it's just not, well, that looks better.
Well, I think it's just because it needed a little bit more movement. It just needed a little bit more movement and just a few curved gathers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna redo it. Okay.
So, okay. I'm gonna do some skirts. So I'm gonna start with my folds. I stagger them. And I can put a waistband. So when I draw a skirt, I kind of went out of the lines. I try to make them different lengths. They all kind of have a cone shape. I stagger it a little bit so it has more movement. But the more randomity I have, where they're not identical, it's going to look more natural. It's going to look more natural. So here I have a long line, a medium line, a small line. I'll go click on this so it's bigger so I can see. It just makes it more pleasing if none of the lines are the same length and they're all a little bit different and they all point towards the center evenly. It makes it look more appealing. Okay, so if I'm going to do a gathered skirt, I want to make sure my gathers are different lengths and they all look different. They all look random and different. What you don't want is a pattern where you're trying to do small, medium, large, small, medium, large, small, medium, large. And before you know it, they all look identical. And all that does is flatten it. So this is a no, and this is a yes. They're a little random, and here they're more all the same. Don't do that. Try to make them more random. It'll look better. So pleated skirts. Pleated skirts are really kind of fun. So there's all different kinds of pleated skirts. So I'm going to show you all the different kinds of pleats. There is 2 pleats that there's a pleat on this side and a pleat on this side. So my pleats are going this direction, opposite of each other. And I'll stagger it a little and the hem kind of lifts up. Okay, this is called a box pleat. So you can see it, it's called a box pleat. It's when the 2 pleats go opposite direction. That's called a box pleat. If the 2 pleats face each other, it's called an inverted pleat. So I'm going to just put a seam down the center. I'm going to have 2 pleats and they're going this direction towards each other. I'm going to stagger the little fold behind and I'm going to make a slight flare. Ouch. And I don't know why I say ouch when I rip my paper. Kind of weird, isn't it? Okay, so it's an A-line shape. I gave it a little flare and the pleats go towards each other. That's called an inverted pleat. So I think I drew a design with a knife pleat this week. Seems to be in my memory. So if I'm going to do a pleated skirt, and it's a knife pleat, I'm going to start with the center, and I'm going to look at the measurement, and they're all equally spaced. So here I have 1.
Mine's
2,
is blurring is right. I don't know about everyone else's.
Oh, you know why? Because I start moving. I finally figured out the why. When I start moving, it can't focus and and it's shaking. So it's because I keep moving the paper so fast.
Yeah, that's good.
Figure out what to focus on. So just yell at me and then I'll put my hand here and then it'll get the focus. So I found the center. If I'm looking at a real skirt, I count how many pleats there are and I try to get them as wide as they are. So I'm saying these are all evenly spaced. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pleats and they're evenly spaced. Okay, so there's my shape of my skirt. Okay, so I'm going to draw the lines and they kind of flare out each one. And then I'm going to get where the skirt, and I'm going to lightly draw where the skirt is going to shape. And then I'm going to come out here and make my skirt. And then when I get to here, I'll start my first one. I'm going to stagger it a little. And so all of these pleats, they might get a little wider because of the wind, but they stagger and they all go that way. And then on this side, I'm going to bring them down, and I still want them all to go the same direction. So I'm going to try to stagger them just slightly. So it has a little bit of angle. So now they all go the same way, and that's called a knife plate. Knife plate. Okay. Anybody have any of these skirts? Anybody wear skirts anymore?
Yeah, I have a couple. I don't really wear pants. I love skirts and dresses.
So for quite a while, it was real trendy to take skirts and make them asymmetrically pleated. And so they'd put a box pleat on one side and a knife pleat in here, and then mix it up with an inverted pleat on the other side. It was really fun for me to sketch because it was challenging. And did somebody say something or turn their mic on? Is there a question? No? Okay. Okay, so I call that a mix of pleats. Okay, so let's see. If you're going to put more than one box pleat on a garment, you're going to start getting inverted pleats between each box pleat, which is quite kind of fun and exciting. Now there is another kind of pleat which is quite fun. So when I was in high school, they invented the first synthetic fabric, and it was called polyester, I think. Might have been acetate, but all of them were horrible. They didn't breathe, you'd sweat, and it was just horrible. And then they got better at it. So I'm making these all equally spaced, these lines. I'm making the silhouette shape. So you can see it. Here's going to be my silhouette shape. So I lightly drew that. So I come in, and just like I did the knife pleat, only it's not going to be a knife pleat. I'm going to go in the center of these. So now I've made them really narrow. And then I'm going to make this zigzag effect. So it's like the instrument, the musical instrument, an accordion. And that's where it got its name. That's an accordion pleat. And then designers started making their own little designs with accordion pleat. So if you make them even tinier and get them really small, it's called a crystal pleat when it's really tight. And you'll usually see crystal pleating on chiffon because it's lightweight fabric. And you'll see it in evening cocktail dresses. And instead of accordion, because it's so lightweight, the accordion actually becomes a little mini ruffle, kind of like it's called a lettuce edge, but it'll start just lifting and have like a little ruffle effect to it. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You see it sometimes on Mother of the Bride dresses, and it might have a little zigzag on it called a marrow edge, which is a special machine that hems. It puts a little zigzag hem on lightweight fabric. And it was invented by a man whose name was Robert Marrow. And for years, I didn't know how you spelled it, but now I do. It's called Marrow. And his name was Robert Marrow. Okay, so an accordion usually is about a ½ an inch to larger, and it has more of a zigzag hem. And a crystal is lighter weight fabric and has a little edged hem. So those are different pleats. In the 70s, and when they had Woodstock, they had all these mushroom pleating named after what was going on at that concert. And it was a little fabric that was like cottons. And instead of the crystal pleating, the pleating had a wave to it because they would twist it. And so it became more like waves, but still pleated. And they would twist it and tie it with rubber bands. And then when it would dry, it would make this little wavy pleat. It was called mushroom pleating. So sometimes fashion, it's mimicking the culture of what's going on, and clothing's getting named after what's going on in society. So this was called mushroom pleating. And it was also the same time all those synthetic fabrics were getting invented. So the mushroom pleating was done with lightweight cottons, and when they dried, they wrinkled. But when they made the same style in polyester fabrics, they would heat press designs into the pleating. It was really ugly. They would just have like melted plastic in the pleating, and everyone thought that was cute. I thought it was really ugly, but that was a style then. So there's a lot of different ways you can mix the pleats and create the pleats to make something new and fresh. It's always changing. Okay, so let's see, I've got a new fresh sheet of paper. I'll finish off this one. So drawing bows sometimes are a little hard for beginners, or tying knots. So if the fabric twists and ties, the bow can come out of the knot. And sometimes I will, so let's say it went around this bust. And it's kind of pretty if you can make S curves, it just makes it look prettier.
It's so many lines in your paper, it's really hard to see.
Okay, for this body, I'll just do it again. So I
Okay.
tied a little knot, and then the bow came out of it. And then I could make the tie straight, maybe a little wave, or I could twist the tie, and it's kind of pretty. If I had just a belt sash on a, like say a trench coat, and the waist would pop out. And then I could go narrow to wide, and it just pops out. And then I would see the sash. That's always pretty. And like a drawstring, going to tie in a knot, a little 1/4 inch tie, and it pulls. And usually the drawstring is going to go through some kind of keyhole. And maybe that keyhole is going to be embroidered, the little eyelet. And then you're going to see the, I could twist this one too. When you have little S curves in your drawing, it just makes it attractive. And it might have top stitching. So then you could put some little top stitching on it. Maybe I'll see the inside of that one. But that's always fun. And so if you're going to draw belt loops, usually a belt loop, well, let's see. Usually a belt loop, it starts at the top and wraps over. But if it's a jean, it's going to go down past the waistband, and it's going to have a bar tack that sews it down so it doesn't rip out. So usually if it has the Western pocket, you're going to see a rivet right on the corners that keep the pocket from coming open from the constant use. And usually if it's a jean, it's going to have 2 rows of stitching. And even your belt loop is going to have 2 rows of stitching. And your waistband is usually edge stitched. And usually on a jean where you have your fly zipper, it's top stitched, and usually it's double needle. And usually your buttonhole is called a keyhole, and it looks like the old-fashioned door locks on a door. It looked like that. And then the button fits in there, and it can't get out because it got stuck in that little keyhole part that doesn't let it out. Usually it's edge stitched on a zipper, and it still goes down to the crotch, and the crotch gets the double needle. And sometimes you'll see a bar tack right here and maybe a bar tack right there. And those are all drawn or sewn there to keep it reinforced. Jeans were invented during the gold rush era when they would wear these to mine for gold. And there was this seamstress that worked for Levi Strauss, and he invented the 5-pocket jean. And Levi Strauss had the money, so he trademarked it or patented it, and nobody could make that jean for 20 years. And then once that jean expired, everybody made a pair of jeans, and they're still making money off of that 5-pocket jean. So one of the other features on a denim pant that keeps it from falling apart, the fabric's really rugged, but it has a yoke in the back that's on the bias, so it fits the back nicely. But on the back of a jean, and you may have never noticed it before, but right where you sit down, it's edge stitched just till about 16 inches on the side, so that if you sit down, it won't rip out. And sometimes it'll be double needle, and sometimes it'll be triple needle. So you can go through your closet and look and see if you have any jeans, and if it's double or triple needled, and it stops right there. It doesn't go all the way down. It's just to reinforce. And I never noticed it till I started sketching. So these are just some features. The belt loop goes below the waist and the reinforcement here. All of these features were illustrated and trademarked, and nobody could make that jean until the patent expired. So just give you some ideas. Okay, let's see, what else will I sketch for you? Some more waist details. Because I don't know what you're going to design this week, but at least I'll give you some food for thought of what to design. Okay. So I'm going to do, let's see, I did the paperback waist and I did the drawstring. I'm going to do a draped waist. So a draped waist, maybe it will gather here, have a little fullness, and gather, and then it's going to have a zipper. I've seen zippers on both sides. I don't know why, but I've seen it both directions. You can consider, I don't know if one side is unisex or not. I don't know, doesn't matter. A yoke is a separate pattern piece. It's usually on the bias, and it can be on a pant or a skirt. And if you have a yoke, you don't need to have a dart to shape it. That's a nice way to do it. If it's going to drop slightly, I'm going to get that back view showing. Okay, so if I do, let's see, a slash pocket, I'm going to do a variation of a slash pocket. Instead of curved, I'm going to make it angled. I had the Western pocket that was curved, and this is just a variation, and it's angled. And I think I'll put a button and another fly. So fly zippers, you do not have solid lines. If I put a solid line here, that means it's a separate pattern piece, and I don't want to spend that kind of money. So I don't do that. I have seen other illustrators do it, and it's a no-no, because then your sample maker is going to make a pattern like that, and you don't want that. I'm going to make it a solid. So this is, I'm going to make it a little thicker here so I know I can enter it in there. And I can put top stitching. So that's a variation of a slash pocket. All patch pockets where you sew the fabric on top of the garment has to have top stitching. The only time you ever see a patch pocket glued is on Project Runway. It is never, ever not sewn. And also, all pants have crotch seams. The only pant that doesn't have a crotch seam is a diaper. They all have crotch seams. And it's very easy to forget that crotch seam, because you might be drawing your access line. You go and erase that access line, and you forgot to ink your crotch seam. So you gotta be careful on that one. So I'm gonna draw some pockets with a flap and a buttonhole and a patch. Maybe I'll put a little pleat right there. So this is called a cargo pant because it has some details on it. Okay, so that is a cargo pant. That's a flap, inverted pleat, and I would call this a cargo pant. And so definitely have to have top stitching to hold that pocket in place. And button. Okay. And okay, very good. Let's see. So pant cuffs. I could have a pant leg. Here's the shoe. I could have a side slit. I'd see the side seam and I would see the side slit and I might make that a little higher with some top stitching. So notice how the sides lift up slightly. The cuff. Again, it has a little bit of angle. And I have a cuff and a side slit. And I could have raw edge. And I could have a straight leg. Anybody know what this piece is called? That's a no. Called a stirrup. I haven't seen those in a while. It used to be a popular look. And
Is
then,
that a strap?
yes, it's a strap. And then I'm going to put little tucks right here. Here's my shoe. So I know one of you guys kind of did that. I think it was Jack or Chris. Can't remember who did it, but this is called a pegged leg. So I just made little tucks in the shoe, in the pant. Okay. So whenever the angle makes the pocket, that's called a slash pocket. There's many variations of a slash pocket. Could just look like that. It could have a patch with it. It could be a curve. But some pockets like this one is coined as the Western pocket because that's the shape that was on that 501 jean. And this little pocket right here is the coin pocket. And that's why it was a 5-pocket jean. It had 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and that little coin pocket for their gold coins, I guess, that they would trade with. Okay, so let's see, what else could I show you? Probably drawing a jacket is one of the hardest things for a beginner. And I do have at least one jackets on your list of things to design. So I'm gonna draw a jacket. And I'll show you kind of how to make it.
Oh, Miss Rad. If you don't want to, it's okay, but I was gonna design a Penny Lane coat, and I would really appreciate it if you would do a example of it. but you don't have to. You can always do it after or something.
I don't know what it is. What's a Penny Lane coat?
So it's that like 70s coat that has the fur that's sticking out as the lining. So it has the fur cuff, it has the fur on the bottom and on the opening. I can show you a picture real quick.
Okay, find a picture. I can look it up on my phone. Let's see.
That's kind of like what the brand is known for that I'm doing for my.
Penny Lane coat.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
like-
named after a character from Almost Famous,
That's
which
a,
is a movie. But I don't know like what they called it back in the day, or if it was always called Penny Lane, and then they just made her name Penny Lane.
this has the fur, the kind of fur coats they wear in Coachella. Is that the thing you're talking about?
I think they probably do.
Uh,
Let me show. Let's see.
student named
I'm trying to get a better view. Let me go on their website.
You see my phone on your, does it look like
I
that?
do. That collar's really big. I like the collar, but that's not what I was gonna go for. Let me show you real quick. Sorry.
One, do you see it? Not what you want?
Not quite.
Okay,
I got one.
okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Let me see. I'll go gallery view so I can see you. And Jewel. Then you're going to pin it up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good one. Okay. That's. Let me see. Where am I? Okay. Can you see that?
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, let me pin it so it goes bigger. Okay. So it's fur all the way down and fur on the cuffs. Yeah. I
Mhm.
think the student that made those custom for Coachella. Her name is
Yeah.
Paris.
Say that again?
Her name is Paris, and she has it online. You can buy them. She'll make
Oh,
a,
Paris Sinclair?
I don't know, that could be her last name.
I've seen her. She's cool.
Really,
I like her style.
like she'll
It's
custom make,
very, very psychedelic,
yeah.
the way she does it. Mm-hmm.
I had her in my sewing class.
What?
Yeah, I thought
Oh, that's so funny.
she was marketing and selling these, and she was in my sewing class. Yeah.
She makes good money doing that. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I've been following her for a couple years now.
Okay, so I'll do the Penny Lane first.
Okay, thank you.
Look up when you got that picture. What
What was that?
when you looked it up on my phone? What did you type in?
I just typed in Penny Lane coat.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just there's all different kinds of shapes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, they have the really big collar. I was just going for like the fur all the way around. I mean, it can have a big collar if you want. I think it's pretty as well.
Well, do you want the long-haired fur?
Yes, I like the shaggy fur. It's pretty.
So when
I could send you a.
when you're drawing fur, you want a little curve in it, and you want it high on the neck.
Okay.
And because if you don't put a little curve in it, it's going to look like it hurts. It's going to look more like a porcupine. And you want just a little bit of curve. Then it looks soft and luxurious. And I'm going to put a seam. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm making it a little fuller than my body. So I have that extra ease, and it goes past the shoulder because it's probably going to have a little bit of tailoring in it. And I made an underseam pattern piece. Okay, so now you can see the shape. Just
Could you
make
give her a trim, like a little flowers going around?
like a
That
ribbon.
would be pretty. Ribbing.
Well,
That'd be cool. Is that what that's called? Because
No,
it's not on the trim. 'Cause it's not on the very edge. It would be ribbing.
it's embroidered ribbon that I could
Oh.
use embroidered ribbon. I mean, you could do embroidery too. So you could stitch embroidery.
Yeah, a lot of them have like an embroidery, like framing type of thing going around the fur.
Yeah,
Which I
the
think is really pretty.
ribbon could be grosgrain. It could be embroidered, and then it could still have embroidery. This could be the embroidery.
Ooh, yeah, on the pocket.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You'd have some embroidery. So all the embroidery, you have to do the call box and show it up close so I can tell what it's.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they would just stitch down grosgrain ribbon. It has a little ribbing. The grosgrain has a little texture in it, and then it could have colorful design, and then you could also have stitching on the jacket. That look fun?
I love it. Thanks, Miss Rad. It's
Okay.
pretty.
So let's say I want to do a jacket with a lapel collar. There's so many different kinds of jackets, like the biker jacket that Haiwan was doing, but I'm going to just do a basic collar with a lapel. And this is the extension. It goes past the center. So the button is on the center line, and they're equally spaced, so I could have 3 buttons. The extension is usually the size of putting another button here, usually. Okay, so that's my extension. I see the back of the collar, and this is going to come in angles. And then when I do the jacket, if it's tailored, it could have a little lift right here, just a little, because I put shoulder pads in it, and it V's out. I don't dig into the armhole like I would a sleeve, and then it comes out just slightly. So the sleeve is always a little bit bigger than the sleeve of the croquis, because I have to be able to put a shirt under that. So most sleeves on jackets have an under seam. And sometimes you'll see just a little more curve, not so straight. So sometimes you'll see the sleeve do a little more curve, which is really what it, from sewing point of view, it would really actually curve more, because usually in the back, when you have this seam from here to here, you're putting some ease in there into your sewing so that it gives it a little curve so you can bend your elbow. So either way is okay to draw. The seamstress is going to know, but you wouldn't make one straight and one curve. You'd make them both curved if you're going to do the curve. If you give it a little bit of shape, but notice all this extra space between the croquis, that's a little bit of ease, which most jackets need, so that you have room to wear a shirt underneath. So you're adding it when you illustrate it. I'm making that just a little bit bigger. Okay, so if you're going to have any kind of shape, you're definitely going to need some kind of princess seam or dart if it's a woven fabric, because it needs some shape. So you can follow the princess line on your croquis, so it has a little bit of shape, and you can have a dart that points towards the bust apex. And when you make your pattern piece, this is exactly how you'd be making your pattern piece. You'd be using the princess seams to create your shape. And maybe you don't want all the darts. Maybe you'd rather just have a princess seam that goes to the hem and to the sleeve. You could have a princess seam with no dart. So there's several ways to get this silhouette shape. But if you're going to have no darts, you are not going to have that shape. It's going to be straight because you didn't give it any construction to get that shape. Does that make sense? And usually if you do the back view, the darts are going to be a little bit higher. So when you get into pattern making, it'll definitely make more sense. But the back has no bust, so the darts will be higher. And it probably won't curve as drastically in the back because there's no bust line. But your back, you'll trace the silhouette shape, and then your back collar will follow the same shape as that. These widths will be the same, and then you'll just copy the same silhouette. Sometimes you'll have a dart right here on a jacket, or a little bit of ease that's been put in instead of the dart. But usually on a back, you might have a seam right down the center. So it'd be right here. Sometimes you'll have a stitch and a little kick pleat right here. So when you sit down, it won't rip. And sometimes where these seams are right here, you'll see 3 little buttons and a little pleat right where that seam is. And it'll have a little pleat there. So there's examples of either a princess seam or a dart or a princess seam, a little kick pleat, and the buttons. Does that make sense? Let's see. A lot of different ideas to think about. Maybe you want to do some quilting on your garment. That's always kind of fun. So let's say I put a collar on here and I'm going to put some quilting. So maybe I'll do a zipper and some quilting. And then on this sleeve, I'll do some quilting. So the quilting is going to create movement. Maybe I'll do some quilting across. So I'm going to see the shape created from the quilting. So I just made an exposed zipper. And maybe I'll have a rib. So this particular one, I'm putting the quilting going both directions. So I try to not get rushed. I try to keep all my stitching looking the same. And I could show just a little bit of gather. But this is quilting. And this might be called a parka. Could call that a parka. It just gives you some food for thought. And then I could put the exposed zipper and some top stitching to show all the detail. And it'd probably have a zipper pull at the top. So maybe I'll just make a rectangle zipper pull. And I would see the back and I would see it diagonal. And I might have a pocket in here. So I could decide, well, what kind of pocket? Do I want a little pocket here and it opens up and it has a little stitching? I don't know why, but my brain can't think of what I call that pocket at the moment. But I'll remember as soon as I get my brain working. I usually have 20-minute jet lag and then it comes into my brain. A welt pocket, there it goes. I was less than 20 minutes. That's called a welt pocket. So you see welt pockets on the back of men's pants. You see it on the front of a jacket, but when it's on the front of a jacket, it's still a welt pocket, but they call it a besom pocket when it's on a jacket. I don't know why. There's probably some man that it was named after, my guess. But that's called a besom pocket. Still a welt pocket. There's two kinds of welt pockets, a single and a double. The double just has 2 rows, and I'm pretty sure you learn that in sewing. That's real challenging if you haven't had sewing yet.
The
Anybody?
double welt pocket, is that normally on pants?
Yeah, you
Most-
see it on the back of men's pants.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, you did that. It's challenging, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, you usually have to make like
Yeah.
5 of them until you finally get it, and then it finally like works. But I
Or
have,
is it ever on like a, what's it called? Like a blazer. I think I've seen that on a blazer maybe. That's about it. I
And you
never
see-
see them on anything
there was
else.
a very famous jacket called a members only jacket that men wore for golf, and it had one of them.
Okay. Thank you.
So we're going to take a break. I'm a little early, 4 minutes early, because I went to sleep at late. So we're going to take a break. Is anybody tired? Nobody's tired? Are you there? Everybody's there. How much sleep have you guys gotten?
I got a good amount of sleep last night. I try to go to bed by 10 o'clock every night.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I
So-
didn't sleep great, but can I show you my pants before you leave?
I want to see. I'm going to
I
go
didn't-
gallery.
How?
I'm going to pin it. It's Latoya, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's
I'm
see.
gonna put it on like white paper. Hold on. So
Smart.
it's like easy to see.
Let's, okay, let me see. I turn my computer the other way so I can see it. It looks much better. I
This
would,
is the front and this is the back.
the second ruffle from the top, I would just swing it out a little bit. So, because it's going so straight, give it a little angle so it looks like the ruffle flared out.
Okay. This one.
Yeah. The rest are all flaring out, but that one, it's really narrow.
Because it's like more, so the reason why is like this part is actually like to the body and then it starts going away. Because this is like the crotch area. So this part is kind of like the silhouette of a body, of the body, and it's like a little fitted and then it starts going out.
I just think if that was my pocket, which I think those are pockets, then
Yeah, I put pockets there.
that as soon as you're done at the end of the pocket, that's where I would flare it a little bit. So it's not so
Okay.
straight, just angle it. Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's nice. It's cute. What kind of fabric?
What kind of what?
fabric is it going to be?
Like the lace with the rhinestone, like a layered lace, probably with like a fabric underneath it, so it's not sheer.
So
Probably
try
like a-
photos of the lace online that you would like.
yeah, like you know how I think it's like they put polyester probably underneath it, so it'd be like lace with like the matching polyester under it, so that it's not see through. So each layer is like
Yeah,
its own thing.
that'll be pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, so take a break. Come back at 9:40. I'm letting you go 1 minute early.
Okay, thank you.
You want some music? Let's see. Alexa, is there TGIF music for Friday? Is there a song for? Okay.
According to pilotonline.com, the next Suffolk TGIF concert will feature the Rondells on Friday, July 9th. By the
Oh.
way, If you have a few minutes, I can show you a few things I can do. Should we start now?
No, play me the music.